Hi guys, this is Chris speaking. Today I'm not at a conference, but in my home office. I want to start my YouTube Dev Diary today. The Dev Diary is actually my first YouTube experience. I'm not a pro, so please bear with me if anything of the technology or the video, the audio recording, anything is not as perfect as you normally expect it. I guess I will figure it out for the duration of the series. So what is the Dev Diary itself about? I want to show how to design a scalable system these days. What decisions are made, why I choose certain decisions, and just how to attack all those different problems. I mean, we need to distribute operations, we need to parallelize operations, and how we can all do all those things. As the session title suggests, I chose a chat server. I have some small chat server experience. I did one in the past for a customer, so I know the basic do's and don'ts of a chat server, but this system in the past, that was just like a single server solution. It hadn't had any kind of scalability built in. Obviously, it would scale up vertically because it was a Java application, and the more RAM and CPUs you put in, the better it is, but it would never scale horizontally. So especially for chat server, if you have a highly frequented chat server, scaling horizontally is important because you have just a fixed amount of TCP ports you can use for connections. And depending on your technology, a user might need 2 or maybe 3 connections to get all his stuff done. So this time I want to create a chat server application, and I want to create it with your help, by the way. So I want this like an interactive back and forth in the comments, and give some comments, give ideas, give suggestions, give opinion how you would implement something, and I want this discussion back and forth going on. So this time I want to implement it in a way that you can just add another server. It somehow connects to the others. And it doesn't matter if a user is connected to server 1, server 2, server 3. The load balancer can just decide where to send a user, and it doesn't matter. It should still work somehow. Even though one user is connected to node 1 or to server 1 and one user is connected to server 16, they should still see the other messages if they are in the same chat room. For people that coming from the IRC area, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I came up with some basic ideas of the architecture I want to have, and I guess we can just jump in and see if you guys agree with those. They're very basic goals, nothing important, nothing special. I'm just writing them down, and I would like to see some discussion going on afterwards. So let's call it architecture, and let's say our basic goal, this is the idea of the whole session, is scalability. So our server somehow needs to be scalable, and we want to have it scalable in a horizontal way. So adding more servers. To do this pretty easy, I prefer basic, simple deployments. A few years ago, this meant having a pre-installed application server and just put in your deployment unit. But these days, people tend to go for microservices. They go for Dockerization of the application, and therefore, I think it makes sense to go back to standalone applications these days, which means I want to have a main method, and I can put it into a Docker image or whatever, and I just start the Docker image, and I started, and somehow the system discovers the other nodes and works somehow out how to connect to each other. we will use Hazelcast internally, obviously because I'm working for them. So we can use multicast or whatever. I'm not yet sure about how to show that we can use different servers. Maybe I'm going for AWS. The basic idea is just do it somehow. As I said, these are rough goals. So since we have a chat server, we obviously need some client. I don't like all this messenger things. I think there is enough WhatsApp and enough ICQ and enough Hangouts and whatever. But still we are missing still there are situations where you want to have a browser-based chat for customer service, for anything like that. So we want to have a browser front end. A browser front end to me means just a web browser. You have an input line, you have your text, and because I don't like this idea of some very simple implementations which are just going to reload the website with all the messages every kind of like 2 or 5 seconds, I want to have something like a real-time delivery. Real-time delivery is not exactly true because you never get real-time, but it should be so fast that there's nothing really visible from a user expectation. So if someone writes something and I don't want to wait 5 seconds to see his message, I want to see it almost like immediately. That means real-time delivery to me. These days, people do it with WebSockets or HTTP long polling. We will talk about this later when we come to the point to implement it. And the last point to me is persistency. Let's call it persistency. We need to store user data. We need to store passwords, maybe some profile, maybe chat history for analyzing it afterwards. At least we have to store data somehow. We have a few different ways of doing it. We could use NoSQL databases. We could use relational database. I'm not sure what we come up with, but I'm pretty sure it will be fun. So as I said, these are my 5 basic goals. It would be nice to get some comments if you guys agree with that. If you think I'm totally wrong, if you missed something, and also we're building a chat server, typical chat server application. So you can just give me some comments already about feature wishes, ideas, whatever you want to see inside of the application. To get started already, we want to, or I created a small Java application, nothing special so far. It is just a plain Java application. The only thing I did is I created a Maven module and I already configured it to be Java 8. I think I also have to re-import it now. So we want to use Java 8. I think that these days it definitely makes sense to start with Java 8 already because new systems should be Java 8. I'm not a friend of staying with old stuff, so I guess Java 8 is a good option. Okay, let's see. We want to have a browser front end, so we definitely have some static content like index.html, which for now, just say things like HTML, body, and we want to start pretty small, so let's make it hello world, and let's add an exclamation mark. Okay, I personally prefer to keep properties, to keep all my version numbers in a single place, which for me is the properties area. And as I said, I already had some experience in the past on doing those things, and I had good experience with Chatty and Comet D. I will show Comet D in probably the next session. So for now, let's start with Jetty. Jetty is a servlet container or an embedded web server. It is probably the best Java embeddable web server you can find out there. Believe me, I tested a lot of those, and these version numbers are kind of weird, so I'm just looking it up. Jetty, as I said, is a small a small web server. It supports complete complete servlet specification, which is afterwards needed for Comet D and kind of things. But for now, we're just looking forward to somehow write our static content to the web browser. And we want to have a logging framework. I know that logging can be some kind of a religious war, but I prefer SLF4J and Logback. I like their integration with almost every existing logging framework out there. So it is very easy to capture all logging output and just put in everything and just put everything into a single log file. So SLF4J has connectors for log4j, for Java util logging, and for a couple of other logging APIs, and just puts all into its own system. So let's see, org eclipse Jetty. So we want to, oh, this is the group ID, and we start by, let me see, I have some experience with the old versions of Jetty, not so far with the new versions, so there might be some difference between the version I used in the past and the current versions, but I guess we will just figure them out whenever they come up. There's always the website. I haven't really prepared this web session. I want it to be as much as I would start implementing something that I don't know as possible. So let's see, we have, let's look into the libraries. I think there should also be like Jetty servlet, at least that, not servlet, WebSocket. But it doesn't, what is it saying? Okay, so the number is not found. So let's start by just looking up something. Jetty WebSocket, oh, Jetty 9. WebSocket example, sounds good to me. So let's see, native Jetty WebSocket. And they use Jetty WebSocket 8. Oh, okay. Seems like they have something new. So let's copy that. Let's see if that works. Jetty version. And yeah, it seems to work. Nice. Okay. So now we have our WebSocket support as well. We're not yet using it, but eventually we will. So we also need like SLF4J API. And we need a lockback. No idea, it seems to be changed. Let's take lockback. Core. I guess that might work and might be correct. Okay. So we have a package and we go on with a main class, which will just be the entry point into our application. And we are very, very good. We're just throwing anything outside of the system, whatever happens. And the most important thing in every application, static final, is obviously a logger. Logger factory and main class. And info starting. I called the project, by the way, chat scale. Sounded reasonable to me. We want to have a scalable chat server, so maybe that way. And okay, as I said, we start by just writing our index HTML to the browser. So we need a Jetty server, and I want to reach it on port 8080. And we need a servlet context handler, which holds our actual servlet itself. So we have like, oh man, our basic path, and just to make sure, we want to have session handling, session context handler sessions. It won't work. It says it doesn't know what I'm doing. Okay, it needs a whole handler. Oh right. First of all, we need a context handler collection, which holds all of our different contexts. I think this is like the web application itself. If you would have a Java web application deployed, and the servlet context handlers are the different contexts itself. Okay, and we want to have a servlet holder, which holds our servlet, which will just deliver the different resources. The nice thing is we just have static resources, so there's already something that takes care of that, which is the static star, which is like a default class from Jetty. Obviously, it's a basic use case to do all that, and let's see. As far as I remember, we can just set all those things as init parameters. Maybe there's some documentation. Download source. There we get the documentation, and it says init parameters. Okay, so we have resource base, which should be the path where we have our data or our static resources, and we will implement find static content base. We will add a method to figure out where we want to go. Let's create it first, and we can do it like we have a basic path, and we ask the system get property for the current operation directory. Then that will probably most people already know. Windows path to Unix path, and in the end we're just looking. I remember that was a problem when I first implemented it, might be already fixed. Whenever you put in some path in the resource base and it wasn't ending with a slash, the system had a big problem and couldn't find your data. So we have set the resource base, and I think that works for now. So let's try that. We have connected our context handler with the context. Oh, right. And we need to set server set handler contexts. And whenever we shut down these, whenever we stop the server, we want to, whenever we shut down the application, we want to stop the server as well. That way. Okay. And I guess we can just do server start and server join, so our application doesn't stop before we actually stop the system. I guess so far so good. Let's see if this already works. And while it's compiling, I'm just taking a bit of water. Right, we don't have any configuration yet for SLF4J, so it won't show anything, but that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, our server started, and localhost 8080, and it doesn't say anything. Why doesn't it show up the log file? Oh, right. We have to static. That should work. Hello world. There you go. Our first data is sent from our Java application in just about 50 lines of code, even less if you remove all the white spaces, to the browser. Okay, so far so good. Let's do something more important than just writing just writing about just writing about the hello world from the index XML. So let's figure out how we can go on. I already said I want to go for Jetty and commit D. If we search for commit D, we find this commit D project, which is part of the Dojo Foundation. So everybody who knows the Dojo framework, JavaScript framework, might know the Dojo Foundation. Commit D is designed as an implementation of the, I hope it's correctly spelled, BIOX protocol, which is like an HX push technology. Internally, they use WebSocket and HTML, HTTP long polling if WebSocket is not available, and this works pretty nice. So as you can see, low latency data for the browser. So this is exactly meant for what we wanted to do. In the first implementation, I used commit D2. I'm now going for commit D3. Let's see, I have no idea what is different, but I guess it shouldn't be hard to get started. But instead of Dojo, I prefer jQuery, and maybe we can find an example for that as well. Looks like there is something. There's already a chat thing. Okay, it says, not sure which version it actually uses. It's talking about master. Sounds good to me. So let's see if we can make it somehow happen. we need the hat because we now need some JavaScript. I guess who's not who never worked with JavaScript might have a small problem in this session, but I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. So let's see, we have JavaScript, we're just copying everything to a directory. Ack extension, reload extension, whatever that is, I don't know. I guess we just get started first. Reload jQuery. Where's this jQuery stuff? But anyways, common might be it. There we go. We need the commit D JavaScript, which might be this one. Don't we have like there we go, distribution target. That sounds like it is more what we are looking for. Should be ready in a second, I guess. There you go. And let's try to find out. Oh, man. JavaScript, jQuery. There you go. Common source. There you go. It still is kind of weird. Just moving this over to the second screen. There's our directory, static, JS, and we need at least this one. We commit D. And looking at the code, we also need like jQuery, jQuery, and maybe all of those as well. Not sure yet. I guess we can still remove what we don't need afterwards. There's the example again. Let's look at jQuery cookie, jQuery committee, reload. Okay, I guess we can just copy some of those. Oops. And we're almost done for today, but I really want to show how easy it is to push something. So let's quickly do this. Let's have a quick look at the chat.js. We're just doing it somewhere here. Type text JavaScript. I know this is not exactly correct, but bear with me. We're going to have a function which takes the jQuery, and this function will do document let's copy a bit. That waits for the DOM to be ready in the browser before it actually does anything else. So this pretty much is like this again. Then we need, where is it? Chat. It's really easy. We're just doing the easy way for now, localhost. And I want to have it like channel. And do the handshake. And we need, what is it saying? Expression noise. Something is missing. Oh, there are the methods. Why is it? Ah, there you go. Handshake, connect. Those are the things I was missing. So we need two functions which do our handshake and handshake takes, where is it? There you go. Connection initialized, takes a message. We're doing something very important, console. Console lock, right? This is console lock message. We're doing the same thing for meta connect. And I guess this also takes a message and a connection maybe. No, only the message. And again, console log message, just to see that actually something happens. On the server side, we're quickly jumping into the Java part and copy that. Comment the demo. Oh, they just configured everything by hand. So let's look into what I did in the past. Where is it? There you go. So let's just do that and hope it still works. Okay. Doesn't work already. Oh, right. I need the comment the Java. Let's see. Comment the Java dependency. We're at 33 minutes. But I really want this to end nicely today. So we're just going with that for now. I'm trying to speed up a bit. So we have commit D and not Java client, but Java server probably. Commit D. I hope that's it. I guess we will figure out. Let's just test it, and we have version, which is commit the version again. Let's add another field here. We want to have 304. Okay. Let's see, that should give us a nice new, there you go. It probably is the wrong one. We will see. Okay. Server, at least we have the server I expected. Biox server implementation. This is what I was looking for. That was kind of missing. And because we configure it out on our own, we need to initialize. I think I need it on both ends. Okay, this seemed to have changed already. Maybe I don't need to do this anymore. I wanted to initialize the default transports, but it seems like we don't need that anymore. But what we need is another servlet context handler, which we call chat. No, let's call it channel. I want to call the URL channel. This also connects contexts. Oh, we already have that. Just called it context. Well, let's go with that one. Context. Set attribute and Biox server attribute. These are all things I've figured out somewhere in the past. So you don't really need to understand how I came up with those. It was kind of heavy to figure it out in the beginning, but eventually you kind of get used to it. It was a lot of debugging, looking into the codes and kind of things, but yeah, as I said, you kind of get used to it. So now we need the commit the servlet class, and we want to have it as channel /**. Okay, and we have a lot of init parameters. We have a timeout, which is 20 seconds. So whenever a client is not sending any data or not reconnecting in 20 seconds, we're just killing it. Interval was, oh my goodness, I don't remember exactly. I think it was checking interval. So whenever or how often clients should be removed. Channel multi-frame interval. I guess we have to look them up afterwards or next time. I'm just copying current from my old code, and let's see if we can look it up actually next time. So let's add an init order here as well, and I think that should be it. So let's see if we can start it again. And what should actually happen is we should see connecting between the different systems. There you go. I'm not sure if we can see that somehow. Oh, it can't find one piece of data. So let's quickly remove it from the index. That was the cookie thing. And we see nothing, I guess. Nope. Okay, I guess we have to stop here. We started at the same point next time and trying to get this thing ready to work. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching. As I said in the beginning, please leave your comments. If you think Comet D and Jetty is the totally wrong way to go, please leave it as well. Apart from that, see you next time. Wish you would jump in again. Bye.